Hey guys, going to go over some basics and layout of Animate, help you work your way around. When I open up Animate, this is what I see. A lot of times some windows will pop up asking if you've worked with Animate before or not. You can click yes or no. Eventually you'll close down those windows that pop up, and then you'll end up in a place like this. Now I'm on our home area here. You can also click on Learn, and you'll see tutorials that pop up developed by people who work for Adobe. On the Home section, you can see that there's different quick ways to get to files. You can open these up and select different options here. But to really make sure that you're creating the right kind of file, what I like to do is go to Create New, and this pops up. It tells you you have different modes in which you can create for, character animation, social, game, and so on. Each one has different presets. Okay, we're going to be mostly dealing with character animation for now. HD 1280 720, you can see that reflected here off to the side. Frame rate is 30 frames, and the action script is our platform. That would be different from, say, let's say, web-based animation, where you have different frame rates, different platforms, and so on. So we're going to stick with character animation for now. Stick with this one, and I'm going to go to Create. And with that, my stage pops up here. Your stage pops up as well. And what we have now is a workspace. Okay, to first get into what kind of workspace we're in, this is known as a stage, as I mentioned before, whereas in other programs it might be an artboard or a canvas. And so here we have our stage because we are animating, and this is the stage in which we will do that. And just like any stage, you can zoom out and see that there is kind of a backstage. Like you can have things out here in the background that are not visible in your animation. Maybe they're props or things that you plan on using later. But you can see that I can zoom in and out using this box up here in the top right. I can tell it to fit into window, or I can tell it to zoom certain ways. Other options that I have to zoom in and out is the zoom tool, which you can drag a marquee and zoom way in, or I can zoom in and out by using Control plus and minus, and that will move me around my stage as well. Now, just because it says 100% doesn't always mean that I am seeing everything on my stage. If I really want to make sure, I want to go to Fit in Window, and now I can see all the edges of my stage. All right, so that is our stage area, the most obvious space on our app here. Now with this stage, I have different properties that pop up. Some of these properties showed up earlier when we opened up the document. So I have 1280 by 720, and that is the proportions of my stage. That can be altered if I need to. So I can take this and stretch it out wider. I'm going to Control Z that and keep it there. And just to make sure I don't mess with anything, you can go and lock this down as well. My stage color by default is white, but you can open this up and you can choose different colors here, or you can choose colors here. Let's do a softer tone like that. Frames per second can be altered also. So if I wanted to change from a 30 frame to a 24 frame, I can click this here, 24, enter there. And when I go down to my animation panel, I can see that it reflects here. 1 second is now equivalent to 24 frames. All right, so we'll get into more of the animation panel later and how to navigate around that. But for right now, I'm going to move over to and talk more about these panels. I have library, which is where when I create certain symbols and objects, they will show up here. And I have other things like color pickers, alignment tools, motion presets, brushes, and so on. So I'm going to go through not all of these, but as we do some projects and get some animating going, we'll cover some of these as we go. If you wanted to alter this and you wanted to close this down, that offers you a bigger workspace. You can hit the double arrows and open them back up. So you can close them and open them. If you wanted to completely close the group, you can close it like this, and you can close either one panel or you can close the whole thing. Now, what if I need to go back and find those, because there's obviously no way to open them back up now? If this should happen, or if you have objects and toolbars and things like that floating around, either because you're customizing things or you misclicked on something, you can always go to Window and you can open up your different properties panels and different things that you need here. So I have an edit bar, timeline tools, which are there, but I'm missing my properties over here. So I'm going to click on properties and they pop back up here. But if you wanted to float these guys around or move them off of your computer screen, you can do that. If you want to snap them back into place, just grab them by the top and snap them when you see that blue line like that. And for the most part, these can be adjusted as well to kind of fit your style and workspace. This one does not look like it can be adjusted, but you can minimize it like that. All right, so let's talk about the tool panel here. It's got a lot of tools here. It's got some maybe I want to use, maybe I don't want to use. And I can open up this 3 dots right here and where it says edit toolbar, click on that, and you can drag and drop certain tools in there. Some of them that I use or some of them that I don't use. So if you wanted to use one, you can drag and drop it into your tools. You can hold click on some of these, and let's say I don't want that tool after all, I can drop it right back here, kind of declutter my workspace. So a lot of things here can help you out. Now, if things get so messed up and you have panels and toolbars and everything is all over the place, things are closed down, you don't know where they went, what you can do is go to Window, and if you're not sure what things were selected here, you can go to Workspaces and say Reset Essentials. You want to reset it to its original layout? Yeah, sure. And now I have things that are back to where they were. And one thing it will do, though, when you do that, is it will reset all of your tools. And so it would be good to know which tools you like to use, which tools you don't want to use. So if I were to use this tool, but not this one, I can switch them out. Same thing, I like to use this gradient transform tool, so I'm going to drag it up here. It's kind of paired with this tool, free transform tool, so I'm going to drag it and snap it on top of there. So now it becomes a long hold, and I can see my way to different types of transform tools. All right, so this is the very basic. Just know that if things get scrambled, if things end up not the way you like them, then go to your Window tool, check the things that you do need to see, and they will appear. If things are just scrambled so much that you don't know where to start, you can go to Workspaces and you can reset your Essentials workspace, because that's typically what we end up working in anyhow. So this is a basic way to work your way around Animate. For our next one, we're going to get into actually creating some basic animations. So thanks a lot.